Sup guys, welcome back to Cocktail Mechanics. So, this week, I think you can guess, because we go over it all the time, and we talk about this a lot. It's the bar spoon.
Yay!
Remember, long spoon, lives in bar. Woo! So we're actually going to do a Cocktail Mechanics on it, because you know what?
You guys just not getting it, are you?
Bar spoons. There are actually three types of bar spoons. There's the American bar spoon, the European bar spoon, and the Japanese bar spoon. Some of which we have, some of which we don't have. The American bar spoon, which some people like to call a red boy, is basically just a normal bar spoon, but instead of a disc, you've got like a little red tip that protects the bartender's hand from, I don't know, like sharp metal edges or whatever. And then you've got the Japanese bar spoon. There's two types. There is the Trident Bar Spoon, which is this one right here. Stab. And then you've also got the Teardrop Bar Spoon, which is just like a little teardrop on the end of the spoon. Very lovely and elegant. And then you have your European Bar Spoon, which is actually one of these. It has the disc on it. The disc is for muddling. And then you can see the lovely twists in all the bar spoons. That's for layering drink. And your lovely spoon, which they say that all spoons, majority of bar spoons, can carry 5 mils of liquid. And then we have a couple custom ones. We have the beautiful long custom Jägermeister bar spoon with the stag. And then we have this bar spoon. Remember, long spoon that lives in a bar. This is the monkey shoulder one. This is also a great bar spoon because it's practical, can be small, can be very long. So let's talk a little bit about these things. When it comes to bar spoons, they're kind of like a multi-purpose tool, like a spork if you would, which is like a spoon, knife and a fork, which you use when you go camping. On the Japanese bar spoon, you'll notice that you have trident prongs. The great thing about these is, obviously, I wouldn't recommend you use it in competition to grab stuff because it will pierce your garnish, and also you've got to be like, to get it off. But if you're using it to grab garnishes to muddle, put it in, whack it in your glass. Obviously don't whack a whole orange or tangerine or a satsuma or whatever, and you can whack that in your glass. The spoon itself is for usually measuring 5 mils. It's also for churning, so like when you want to put it in your glass when you make a mojito, you can do the circular motion to churn and to mix all your ingredients together. And then on the European bar spoon, you'll notice you have a disc. This disc is actually used for muddling, so it's great for mojitos. So you can just do a lovely little muddle. It's a great motion I'm making here.
Oh yeah!
And then if we go into like layering of shots, what you do is when you want to layer a drink is obviously you get your bottle, looking for a bottle with a pourer. So when you want to layer something, what people usually used to do, some people like to layer it over the back of the bar spoon. The most practical way to do this is to layer it down the spiral and to put the disc on top of the liquid and just slowly pour and then lift and lift and lift, and then you'll have a really lovely layer. It takes a little bit of time, but you always get the best results out of it. When it comes to spoons, the big thing therefore is for stirring. I know James Bond likes his martini shaken and not stirred because he is just like a mentalist and has no respect for the everyday martini. But you use them so you'll get your mixing glass or whatever, or tin. I don't currently have a mixing glass in this bar. Did I say mixing bar or mixing glass? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. You'll just stir like this. A great way to hold your bar spoon when you stir, which is a method I've been taught by friends over my years in the industry, is you will your 2 fingers and you're going to put it between them. You're going to use your thumb to grip it, and then you're just going to, like a beck, like come here. You're just going to do that. So the spoon will push these fingers back and the thumb will keep it steady. So it will just be like a really lovely stirring motion, because you'll see some people, they'll do this, they'll be like, and they'll try and get their thumb to do all the stirring. But really you want it to do like, you want to go like this. Long bar spoons are great because you can stir from a higher height and have a bigger stirring circle. Short bar spoons, it's a lot shorter. So if you see like, ooh, and the more higher up you go, the circle gets bigger. And then if you go really high with your monkey shoulder, you can just stir like the biggest martini ever. So a brief history on the bar spoon. The bar spoon came out in the 1800s and it was originally known as the sucket spoon. Why it was called that, I have no idea. But I do know that it was more as a practical cocktail garnish. So you'd have the spoon so customers could stir their drinks, and you'd actually have the trident on there so they could fish out those pesky olives. So when it comes to looking for bar spoons, there are some great places you can go. You can get your bog standard bar spoon off Amazon. You can go to Cocktail Kingdom and get something quite posh, Urban Bar as well. But when you're picking out a bar spoon, you've got to take a few things into account. Are you going to be using it for layering? Are you going to be using it for picking out garnishes? Do you want it to look gorgeous? What are you in the mood for? With your normal bog standard European bar spoon, it bends quite easily, so you don't really want them to snap. And sometimes the discs aren't completely put on properly and they can just come off quite easily. But if you wanted something for muddling, obviously use a disc. I personally recommend you just buy a muddler. This is a great classic bar spoon, to be honest. Like, it's just super practical. Then you've got these lovely ones. So if you're working somewhere or you want to make really gorgeous martinis, a lovely, beautiful, long bar spoon with a bit of an emblem on the top is great. And you have like the lovely little teardrop spoon itself. The Extendable Bar Spoon, I don't know if you can actually buy these anywhere. I think Monkey Shoulder must have just made them, but they're great because they're just easy to transport. And then obviously you have the Trident Bar Spoon. You can pick your garnishes out, layer. They're very sturdy, actually. This is a really sturdy one. It doesn't really bend at all, and you've got loads of lovely little lines and layers to it. And then you have like the lovely 5mm thing. So when you're looking at a bar spoon, what drinks are you making? What are you going to use the most? So take into account how you're going to use it, what drinks are you going to use it, what menu, if you work at a bar, what's your menu like, and practicalities when it comes to that, because you've got your Japanese, your American, and your European bar spoon. I usually go for a European bar spoon, but when it comes to martinis, I like something a bit longer, and if I feel a bit sassy, I'll have my Trident bar spoon because I just like weapons. Stabby stab. In below, we'll have a few links to places where you can get bar spoons. If you've got any questions, just give us a shout. We're happy to answer them for you. And we hope you enjoyed this episode of Cocktail Mechanics. Woo! And you can learn how to spin a bar spoon as well, because it's stuff, and I had a lot of time behind the bar where all I did was spin bar spoons. If you want to learn more about basic bar skills and equipment and all that kind of stuff, tune in next Wednesday, where we will be doing something a bit zestier for you.